Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of Pay Per Review. I'm War Machine MJ.
With Rodimus Prime.
The reason why you don't see belts on us is because I got the lazies and haven't done the scorecard yet. Don't worry, I should have it done by Survivor Series.
There you go.
I mean after Survivor Series, not on Survivor Series.
But it will be done is basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah, it will be done before the end of the year. Anyway, that being said, we're speaking of end of the year, we are reviewing the last AEW pay-per-view of the year, Full Gear.
And trust us when we tell you we were in full gear for this pay-per-view. A very good pay-per-view, I may add. You know, a couple lackluster matches, but overall, pretty good.
But I feel like this whole pay-per-view overall couldn't get out of third gear.
Why do you say that?
I mean, it was an alright pay-per-view. It didn't feel like anything spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was on, like, double or nothing type level, but it was pretty decent.
It wasn't takeover level. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, I do agree. This was held on November 9th as of this recording from the Royals Farm Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. A bunch of legendary moments from that city. They mentioned that Ron Simmons beat Vader to win the world title. Bruno Sammartino beat somebody to win the world title. That was years ago. But anyway, yeah, a lot of rich history as far as professional wrestling goes. So we are going to start off with the buy-in, the pre-show. It was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on B. Priestley.
This match had a lot of hype going into it. Mostly B. Priestley making her mark at the expense of Britt Baker, and Britt Baker calling B. Priestley out for being an unsafe worker.
Yeah.
Giving her a concussion, which caused her to go blind in her left eye temporarily. Giving her a black eye. I think it was in the left eye as well.
Yeah, so B. Priestley basically leaving her mark, if you will, all over Dr. Britt Baker. And Britt Baker has just basically said, look, you're unprofessional, I've had enough, so I'm just going to kick your ass.
I did like how terrifying she made the lockjaw sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she said, I'm going to trap your arms, Rings of Saturn, and then when my hand gets on your mandibular, it's going to be over.
Yeah. I mean, she is a certified dentist. She's a real dentist, and she said, I can literally dislocate your jaw on purpose.
So she knows exactly what that mouth do.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely does. And that would feel very painful if somebody was to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Very painful.
Unfortunately, this match didn't live up to its hype.
Yeah, I mean, not that we're saying these girls are very bad wrestlers, because they are not. They are very good wrestlers in their own right, but it was just all the hype, all the build-up, all the suspense, and it's just...
I mean,
yeah.
Like we said on Elite Count this week, Britt Baker doesn't have a lot of exciting matches.
Yeah, I mean, I reiterate what I said. It's just like, when she comes out there, she gets a really nice reaction, But it's just like when she has her matches, and it's some of the other women's matches too, not just her. It's just like, hey, Britt Baker. Okay, can we get this over with?
She's got solid in-ring work. It's just, they're not terribly interesting.
No, they're not.
Anyway, yeah, B. Priestley tapped out to the lockjaw. Afterwards, Brandy and her hired gun, Awesome Kong, not sure what to make of that pairing, showed up, and they took a big chunk of B. Priestley's hair.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with this, because the next episode they did this to Allie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Brandy's trying to send a message to the women's division, or if it's Kong, or both, but I just find this to be very weird, because Awesome Kong with a knife sounds dangerous enough.
I mean, at this point, she doesn't even need the knife.
Yeah, I mean, she can just use these. I mean, it's bad enough.
Yeah, but apparently she's a hair hunter, not a head hunter.
Yeah.
Because she's got a little belt of, like, hair chunks.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done that to Britt yet. But it's coming soon. Anyway, Britt Baker DMD got the victory by submission with the lockjaw, 11 minutes 35 seconds. I had to give this an underwhelming 2 out of 5.
Yeah, if you want to fix this match, first thing to do, get it off the pre-show.
Facts.
They put so much hype into this match. Why put it on the pre-show? I get that there's only so much space you can do with the main card, but you could have just. Let me see this. Let me see this card quick.
Yeah.
The only match that I felt like was pre-show worthy, Shawn Spears, Joey Janela.
Now that should have been on the pre-show.
Because a lot of that story took place on being the Elite and Dark.
Yeah. So they did a good job with the match card. Just do a little switcheroo.
Yeah. Next up, we had a grudge match to kick off the show. We had Super Kick Party! The Young Bucks taking on the Inner Circle's proud and powerful duo, Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, these two have been at each other's throats ever since Santana and Ortiz debuted in AEW. And, yeah, they're basically making a statement to the Young Bucks that we are here and we are the best. Or as Ortiz says, we're the best! We're the best! We're the best!
Dead ass.
That
Dead
too.
ass.
But
Dead
yeah,
ass.
But the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson were at ringside, which was cool. As Matt Jackson said on that shirt, I would actually buy that shirt.
Yeah.
The original Young Bucks.
Oh, that's actually on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah.
I saw it the other day.
Yeah, it's got Young Bucks and then them two on there.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But anyway, this match was amazing. The
Yeah.
only downside about this match is Ortiz when he was doing way too much after that super kick. Like, it's just like he got hit with a super kick and it's just... I was like, bro, you doing way too much, bro. I like y'all as a tag team, but you be doing way too much, though.
He does too much already. I mean, he just seems more dialed up than he did in Impact.
Yeah, it's just like Santana, he's the cool, aggressive type, and Ortiz is just the wild one of the whole bunch.
Yeah, he's pretty much the pit bull. He's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but still, you do way too much, though.
But yeah, the Proud and Powerful got the victory. 21 minutes exactly. 3.5 out of 5. Afterwards, they went to beat down on the Jackson brothers when a couple of fresh young faces came out of the crowd and beat down on Santana and Ortiz. And who were they?
The Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, and Ricky Morton. I think this guy's like in his late 50s, early 60s. I don't know exactly how old he is.
He did a suicide dive, and come back in the ring, he hit a Canadian destroyer.
On Santana. He hit a suicide dive on Santana, Ortiz, and Sammy Guevara, and I just looked at this guy like, what is really going on in this world?
And you know what's even funkier? They took a power bomb on the stage, and then they showed up on NWA the next week.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Matt Jackson takes a power bomb through the stage. He's not here this week.
No.
Boom! Shots fired. Pow pow.
Pow. Gunshots, pow pow. But like he said, Proud and Powerful got the victory. 21 minutes even, 3.5 out of 5. Then we move on to another banger match. Pac, the Bastard Pac, taking on Hangman Page, who promised to do some cowboy-ish.
Now, this was a good match,
Yeah.
devoid of any barricade throws that Pac usually does in his matches.
Or a brainbuster on a chair.
Or brainbuster on a chair, and then throw into the barricade.
Yeah.
But they had a much better match than following episode of Dynamite.
They did. Now, I thought the match was good, but for the most part, their match was okay compared to their rematch on Dynamite.
Yeah.
However, Hangman Page got the victory with the Deadeye. 18 minutes, 30 seconds. I gave it a 4. Originally, I was going to give it like a 3.5, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
3.5, but you know what? I'll give it a 4.
Next was Shawn Spears, the chairman, with Tully Blanchard taking on the bad boy, Joey Janela.
You know, I really wasn't interested in this match, but it was okay. Nothing spectacular. But towards the end of the match, you know, Tully getting involved as he usually does. It was Shawn Spears and Joey Janela. Joey was set up for a pile driver until Tully Blanchard jumped off the steps. I'm surprised, as old as he is, his knees are still working. Because most guys his age who have been in the business for 25, 30, 35 years, their knees are just shot. He jumps off the steps, and I'm just like, your knees are still working?
Yeah, but didn't he leave the business early?
Yeah, because he was like a preacher or something like that, you know.
Yeah, he left early because I think nobody wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
Because he had become such an asshole.
Yeah.
I think that's how the story goes. Then he became a preacher, just kind of turned everything around.
Yeah. But it seems like, he, for the last few years, he's gotten his life together, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I was just still shocked that he jumped off the steps and his knees didn't, But hey, old man can go.
I mean, look at Ricky Morton.
True.
I mean, his neck should have exploded as soon as he hit his first suicide dive.
Or, for example, a couple years ago, Buff Bagwell doing a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Buff Bagwell.
That is true, but I'm just saying.
I mean, look at PCO. His back should have exploded as soon as he got powerbombed to the outside by Tama Tonga.
We don't need to talk about that. Or when he did that show a few months ago, and he did a suicide dive and he busted his eye. That man is wildly crazy.
Wrestling's Frankenstein, ladies and gentlemen.
But anyway, getting back to this match, Shawn Spears, the chairman, thanks to his boy, Tully Blanchard, got the victory in 11 minutes, 45 seconds, 2 out of 5.
Next was a three-way championship match for the AEW Tag Team Champions. It was the defending SCU, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, taking on the Private Party, taking on the Lucha Brothers.
Yes. Now, I did like the fact that they gave them medals. Like SCU's first place, Lucha Bros second place, Private Party's third place.
I agree with going in Raw. They look like cheap medals. They look like Party City cheap medals.
But would you rather have AEW do it or WWE do it when they actually attempted to use a ranking system?
I mean, I'd rather neither of them do it.
Okay. But, we got this match because Private Party beat the Dark Order.
Beat the Dark Order, and of course, Phoenix and Pentagon won their rematch after losing in the finals.
Yes. So we got this three-way, and this was another match that I felt was very underwhelming. A lot of hype, a lot of build-up. You got three of the best teams in AEW right now.
You got four of the most disgustingly athletic members in this match.
Yes. You got one very underrated wrestler on a tag team who are the tag team champions in Scorpio Sky.
Well, he was one of the disgustingly athletic.
Oh, well,
I thought you were trying to say Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, Frankie Kazarian, he does his own thing.
I feel like Kazarian is underrated.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Facts. I mean, 20 plus years in the game, so.
Especially when he did that tope con hilo, where he was too close to the ring and he didn't bust his head.
True.
And then, of course, you had Pentagon in the match, which, that's all we need to say. Pentagon.
And Phoenix, too.
Well, I mean, he falls into the disgustingly athletic category.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Like I said, he puts the disgusting in disgustingly athletic.
Pentagon, I mean, no words for him. But, yeah, this was another match that I was really looking forward to, and I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed. But SCU, they remain your reigning, defending AEW World Tag Team Champions in 13 minutes even. Another underwhelming 2 out of 5.
I think that's what hurt the...
2.5, I'm sorry. 2.5.
I think that's what hurt the match was it was only 13 minutes.
Yeah. Because if you give them 25 minutes, they can go out there and just tear the whole house down.
Yeah, put on a banger. But after the match, the lights went down and came back up. Pentagon Jr., I should say, was staring in the face of Pentagon Trio.
Uh-huh.
And the other Pentagon took his mask off, and it was Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. He even had the face paint on.
And you can kind of tell it was Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's a little larger. Well, he's a little bigger than Pentagon. So I was like, that's Christopher Daniels.
Of course, he beat up Pentagon, made him chase, and once again, SCU is whole again.
Yes. So, yeah, like we said, SCU still your tag team champions. Now we move on to a match that I thought was, I gotta say, the sleeper of the whole pay-per-view. It was for the AEW the AEW Women's
The World Women's.
Yeah.
World Women's.
It was Rio taking on Emi Sakura, basically teacher versus student.
Oh, I love this match. This match was great.
I really liked how they told the story. You know, Kenny Omega's real good friends with Riho. Rio is 22 years old.
She's been training since she was 9, I believe they said.
Yes, literally we are not making this up. She literally became a wrestler at 9 years old. She's 22. That is scary.
I mean, they train them young, like, especially over in the British scene. They're like 12, 13 when they get trained or have their first match.
Yeah, because I know, for example, Rhea Ripley was on Corey Gray's podcast, and she said she started wrestling when she was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And she's, what, 20, in her early 20s still?
Yeah.
That is scary. And even some here in America.
I mean, wrestling's now become a young man's game. I mean, look at Ricochet. His first match was at 16.
Yeah. And he's like in his early 30s.
Yeah. It's a young man's game now. We just got to face it. Oh, I'm sorry, a young person's game.
Yeah. And like I said, this was the sleeper match of the whole pay-per-view, in my opinion. And the crowd really loved this match. Because at one point, like getting towards the end of the match, they were giving these ladies a standing ovation. And one thing about Emi, she got real emotional when Justin Roberts was doing the...
Yeah, at the very beginning, she was trying so hard not to break down.
Yeah, and you could tell, like, this is a real moment. And I liked where Excalibur was saying, you know, they had history in the ring, championship matches, singles matches, etc., etc. So they got history. I mean, Emi trained Riho.
Yeah. This was a fantastic match, but of course, Riho is still your world's women's champion.
Yeah, I got my words tied up, but yeah, she's still the champ. Emi, you know, showed sportsmanship.
They both hugged it out afterwards.
Yeah, like we said, teacher versus student, really fantastic.
It's a really nice moment.
Yeah, 13 minutes 20 seconds, 3 out of 5, definitely worth it.
Now, before we jump to the World Championship match, one thing I thought brought this pay-per-view down a lot for us at home: commentary. Tony Schiavone was out calling a Georgia Bulldogs game. Mm-hmm. So that just left us with JR and Excalibur.
Uh-huh.
JR just seemed like he was incredibly salty.
Yeah, because he was grilling Excalibur on certain things throughout the whole show, and Excalibur basically carried him and JR.
Yeah, like...
Well, carried himself and JR.
Like when JR was giving him, the runaround, especially when he called an Alabama Slam a water wheel slam, which, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the official term for it, anyway.
Yeah.
When he grilled him about it, I feel like Excalibur, keeping that professionalism, just kind of laughed it off.
Yeah. Now, if it was anybody else, they'd probably try to go back and forth with JR, but, yeah. I mean, JR, he had his moments, but overall, he just, I don't know.
He just seemed like the salty boy.
Yeah, it's just one of those old people where it's just like, 1 minute he's cool, he's joking with you, next few minutes...
He's Jim Cornette. As bad as it is, and I've spoke on how good Tony Schiavone is, I feel like of that trio, Tony Schiavone's kind of the buffer. Like, you got Excalibur, who is the young guy, he knows his stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
And JR's just kind of the veteran commentator who's just kind of lost in the current product. Tony Schiavone is just kind of the nice bridge between the two.
Yeah. Even though he's a veteran himself, he's kind of like...
he's still glued into the modern product.
Yeah, he's kind of the moderator of the two. He's kind of the middle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to let you two go at it. Just leave me alone. Let me do my thing, and we'll work all this out.
Well, it's just kind of like, the friction between Excalibur, being the young man in the group, and then JR being salty because he's not, he's not up to speed with the current product.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I feel like Schiavone is kind of that, he's still a veteran himself, but he knows the product, so he can translate for JR to get it.
Yeah. But yeah, we thought this was a good match. Now we move on to the world title match. It was Le Champion, the leader of the Inner Circle, the man who promised to drink a little bit of the bubbly, Chris Jericho, and his weightlifting belt. I did like that.
Yeah, they sold that as he was trying to mess with Cody, since Cody's all about the weight belts, brother.
Yeah. And he came out there with his boy, MJF. His mom was sitting at ringside, so she knows all about watching matches. Her late great husband, you know, legendary wrestler in his own right.
And, of course, her sons.
Yeah. So, yeah, she was sitting there ringside supporting her baby boy.
If I can be honest for a second, I'm just not digging Cody's entrance.
You know, they really overdo that. I mean,
Yeah.
pay-per-view wise, they can do that, the whole fireworks sparkle thing.
Well, I'm cool with the fireworks, but the whole the chandelier coming out, like the 5 minutes of that, you know, that chanting music, and then his real music kicks in. I feel like it's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, he got halfway to the ramp and then they played his original music, and I'm just like...
Well, on a regular basis, but he was already, like, down the ramp by the time his music kicked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, certain moments like that, they can save it for pay-per-views. Every now and then you can put it on TV, but they really overdo his entrance now.
I felt like for this match, he didn't need the elaborate chandelier entrance, because he was already to the ring by the time his music kicked up. He was already out the gate intense.
Yeah, you know, he gave his mom a hug, and MJF's hyping him up. Jericho comes out there with Jake Hager, and, you know, this turned out to be a good match. The one big moment is when Cody decided to do a dive, and he hit his face on the ramp.
Yeah.
It wasn't what they call a blade job. He legit busted himself open.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if this was official or not, but apparently word is, he was going to blade on that spot.
Yeah.
But because he ate all of that ramp, he just decided, oh well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like Cody's using a little bit of color for his matches.
Yeah. I mean, he used some color like back when he faced Nick Aldis for the NWA title.
There was a lot of color in his Dustin Rhodes match.
Yes. Especially his brother, he bled a complete water hose of blood.
There was no color in his Darby Allin match.
No.
So yeah.
But yeah, this match turned out to be pretty good. Jake Hager got involved. Referee Aubrey Edwards saw him punch Cody, and she was like, "You gonna do this in front of me? Huh?
Out.
Get out."
Of course, the best part was MJF was laughing at him, just saying, "Get out."
Yeah.
And Jake Hager just unloaded on MJF.
Or when Jericho tried to get in Cody's mom's face and she slapped him and told him, "F you." That was funny.
That was awesome.
Again, wrestling is in their blood, so she's watched her husband and her two sons, she knows how to throw down.
Yeah, the finish came when Jericho locked in Lion Tamer, not Walls of Jericho. Lion Tamer.
Yeah.
He was on Cody's head. He had a knee in the back.
He was stomping on his head, and then he like cinched that move in. I mean, he bent Cody's legs back, like to the point where his feet almost touched his head.
Yeah, he was torturing the poor sap.
And
MJF just chucked in the towel.
Yeah, and Aubrey was just like, ring the bell, and that was it.
Jericho is still your Le Champion.
Yeah, he went to go drink a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of bubbly with the boys.
Yeah.
29 minutes, 35 seconds, 4 out of 5. Afterwards, Cody is just so angry. And MJF, hell of an acting job. It's just, he's almost in tears. He's just telling Cody, "I'm sorry. I was thinking of you. Thinking of your well-being." And then when Cody turned around, it's just like, "All right, I forgive you." Boom.
He dropped the bomb on Cody. And evidently, I mean, everybody and their grandmama and their whole family tree saw this coming.
And MJF just had the dirtiest grin on his face.
I mean, he said, "It's my turn now. It's my turn now." He walked out, and JR and Excalibur was like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You SOB. Why did you do this?" And then he gets all the way to the entrance, and somebody just throws a big can of beer at...
No, it was water. It was a water bottle.
It was a water bottle?
Yeah.
Well, from what I read, it was beer. Either way, it got thrown at MJF. And, yeah, MJF was just soaking all the booze in.
Now, what made this moment great was for once JR flipped his lid on commentary.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the hit happened, he starts yelling, "You bastard, you bastard."
Yeah. I mean, MJF was going to get heat on that either way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
But he just got mega heat. Like, it's no longer the fans love him. The fans want to tear him apart.
Yeah.
And the icing on the cake was Cody. He wasn't, like, in pain because, you know, his manhood was attacked. He just had that look of you too.
Yeah.
You know, that betrayal look. And it was just perfect.
It was. It was.
Highlight of the night. Just so much going together.
You might as well say at this point, it's like Cody versus the world.
Yep.
Because Sean Spears turned on him, took his head off with a steel chair. MJF's now turned on him, just basically hit him in the grapefruits.
Yeah.
What next?
It's pretty much who's left for Cody to trust.
Besides his wife and his dog.
Yeah. Even his wife has gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we move on to the official main event of the evening for Full Gear. It was a lights out match.
Yes, an unsanctioned lights out match. Tony Khan basically made it clear to Mox, this is not going to count against your win-loss record. We're not going to be responsible for this. John Mox was like, okay, you want to treat me like a tool? I'm going to go after the top dog. I'm going to go after your boy Kenny Omega. I've waited months for this.
His blood is on your hands.
Yes, and I like the video package they were setting up. Kenny was like, you know, you come from somewhere else where they tried to make you a star. I'm better than half those guys in that other company.
Yeah.
And this match was just...
I felt like...
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I felt like it was ECW light with all this. Like, there was storytelling to it. It wasn't just mindless, violent spots after another.
Yeah.
There was some storytelling. There were some unique spots in this. Like Kenny taking that barbed wire broom and just start sweeping Mox's back with it.
Or Kenny Omega bringing out that board full of mouse traps.
That board full of mouse traps.
I was like, who came up with this? This is so clever. I mean, they were just whooping each other from pillar to post. You had a board full of mouse traps. You had tables, barbed wire objects, a long gold chain.
A barbed wire spider web that Kenny himself made.
Yes. Shards of glass. I mean, you had the whole nine.
Yeah.
And when they went through that spider web, I was just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, they also had a table spot, and it was one of those great table spots where they set it up and you forget about it until it happens.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
No, but the story of the match was basically Kenny was taking his first steps into Mox's world.
Yeah.
And he was starting to like it.
Yeah, because like we said, they were just doing any and everything to each other that they could because one wanted to get the better of the other.
And they even busted out a Gargano Ciampa spot.
Yeah.
Unveiled the boards underneath the mat, and Mox hit the, almost called Death Rider, paradigm shift.
Yeah.
To get the victory. And of course he yelled, "Does that count? That doesn't count."
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. John Moxley wins in 38 minutes, 45 seconds, 4.5 out of 5, and even Meltzer rated this 4.5. He even rated the Jericho Cody match 4.5 too. But anyway.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
It's not New Japan.
Facts.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Mox got the victory, so it counts on his win-loss record.
It doesn't count.
Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't count.
Because lights out matches are unofficial.
Oh, I stand corrected. My bad. But yeah, superstar matches and overall ratings. Superstars of the night go to Pac, Hangman Page, Chris Jericho, Cody, MJF, Kenny Omega, John Moxley, I meant to write him down, and of course Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and roll!
How could I not put them on there? Matches of the night go to Pac versus Page, Riho versus Sakura, Jericho versus Cody, and Moxley versus Omega. We'll give it a 3.5.
Like I said, I would say this is the low point of AEW pay-per-views.
For me, I'll have to say Fight for the Fallen. Because I just felt like that whole pay-per-view was decent, but it just dragged way too long. That pay-per-view was like, what, 3.5, 4 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that, to me, personally, is the lowest point of the pay-per-views as far as AEW goes.
I mean, look on the bright side. At least we're not getting a pay-per-view every month.
Facts.
We're only getting, for now, we're getting 4 a year. I think that's what they're going with. They said four a year one time, so I don't know if they're actually going to go with 4.
Yeah, because, I mean, it gives you time to space out all your storylines and other things that you plan on doing. So that's cool.
It saves you from a lot of burnout.
Yeah, because I think ECW and WCW used to do that. They used to space out pay-per-views.
Really? I thought WCW did every week. Oh, it did every month. Oh, God, not every week.
I think they did. I could be wrong. Now, they did overdo those Clash pay-per-views.
Yeah, they did.
They literally overdid those. Because it seemed like almost every 2 to 3 months it was a Clash pay-per-view.
At least it wasn't like WWE. That one year they did Tussle in Texas. Because it's like they did a pay-per-view that was like half-baked crap. And then two nights later, Tuesday in Texas, that's what it was. 2 days later on Tuesday, they did another pay-per-view that was just the other half of the half-baked crap.
I don't remember that. Is it on the network?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look that up.
This was like before Monday Night Raw.
What year was this?
I forget.
Okay, I'll have to find out on the network.
Yeah, because it was a pay-per-view, and then, it's just going to be a regular house show in Texas, but then they were like, no, let's do a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Or like that one in your house where Savio Vega and Stone Cold had a strap match and the lights went out.
That wasn't their fault, though.
It was, no, I'm not saying that. I know it wasn't their fault, and then the next night on Raw, they had to do the match over again.
Yeah, they had to retape what was lost of the pay-per-view, but from what I heard, it was a lot better.
Yeah. I heard that match was good anyway.
Yeah. But it's just a low point for AEW. Let's just an agreement of that.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's not as good as Double or Nothing. It's not as good as All Out, which All Out was spectacular.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it could be worse. It could be, I don't know, name a crap pay-per-view from WWE.
Taboo Tuesday?
December to Dismember.
God.
At least we didn't get that.
Or the first Fastlane.
Oh. No, I can't. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I can't say for certain that was a terrible pay-per-view. We just didn't agree with how it ended.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying.
That's another crap pay-per-view from WWE.
I'm trying to think. Which one did they have that was crap? Hell in a Cell. God, Hell in a Cell was crap this year.
Oh my God, let's not even go there.
Hell in a Cell was just so underplanned.
Especially that main event. That's what drove the whole pay-per-view down.
Oh, I would have been fine if they had went with the original ending.
Yeah.
They were going to recreate Mankind's Hell in a Cell fall.
Let's see, what's another one? God, they've had so many pay-per-views where they're just like bad.
Hell in a Cell, I feel like, is the low point for this year.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Because it was badly booked in between the SmackDown move and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be glad Full Gear wasn't Hell in a Cell from this year. So that being said, I'm War Machine MJ.
And I'm Rodimus Prime.
And we'll see you guys next time.